cave, I'm going to tell you a quick little story about the tunnel you're in here. This is a man-made tunnel. In case you couldn't guess with the chain link and the concrete, we made this tunnel in 1998 and put in all those stairs going down, so you guys do not have to go in the natural way into this cave. It's a couple of spots called Jam, Crack, and Purgatory. They sound like fun, right? Not really, huh? So back in 1960, there's a guy named Peter Pan Preble. And that's his real middle name, too, Peter Pan. Peter Pan was exploring the fairy caves up above us. When you go on that tour, near the end of it, there's a spot called the Chocolate River. He was exploring back behind the Chocolate River and found a little 5-inch crack in the ground. So he got some dynamite, was able to blow that crack open a little more to 8.5 inches, and decided to squeeze on down through that crack and see where it went. Now, to fit through a crack like that, you have to do what's called compression breathing. Compression breathing means putting one arm up and one arm down, and you turn sideways and blow out all your air, trying to make yourself as flat as you can in order to squeeze down through that little crack like that. Yeah, that was Jam Crack, and he made it through that, only to find Purgatory. Purgatory is a 2-foot passage, then it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it's got cave popcorn on the top and bottom. They say it's like crawling through a cheese grater. Yeah, he only had to go about 30 feet, but it took him like 3 hours to get through all that. So he made it through all that, came out way down in the bottom of the big room we're gonna be in, looked around, he said, wow, it's as big as a barn. So we named it the barn. Yeah. Now we start at the top of the barn. When we get down near the bottom, you're gonna see a hole with a red light in it. That red light is there to show you where Peter Preble first came into the cave through Jam, Crack, and Purgatory. But that's why we have the tunnel here. That's why there's so many stairs going down, so you do not have to go through Jam, Crack, and Purgatory. Sorry. But hey, it makes 120 stairs sound not so bad anymore, right? You can't go in that one. That makes this the biggest cave in the state you can go in. And it's called the barn, right? Every barn needs some barn animals in it, doesn't it? Yeah, we like to show off a couple of our animals here. We've got a giant cave pig right up front here. A cave pig. See, there's his big snout, and his eye, and his ear, and his big body. That's our giant cave pig. White rooster on the wall there. See the little cave rooster? Giant glowing Cheeto to show you. Do be careful on the steps, they can be wet. And look, there's some really good cave bacon right there. Look at that big piece of bacon.
Look at the Cheetos.
It's not just a Cheeto, it's a giant glowing Cheeto. Yeah.
Is it fake?
Nope, that's a stalagmite. It's made out of rock.
So how do you turn it on?
With the light switch there. It's got a little light behind it. It used to be called the Howling Wolf, the big Cheeto here, but a hungry kid came on a tour and looked at it and said, that's not a wolf, it's a Cheeto. A howling wolf, we used to call it. If you look at it, yeah, it looks like a howling wolf, kind of.
What's a wolf?
A wolf, like
Oh, that's a wolf.
wolf, that's what I said.
You said wolf.
I said wolf. That's what you get if you shake up a can of soda. It gets all foamy and fizzy. Yeah, that's carbonic acid, and that's what makes all these. Basically, water comes down through the ground and it gets some carbon dioxide from all the plant and animal material, and then comes squeezing through the limestone, and it's that pressure being squeezed that turns out the shells and bones, comes into a big open space like a cave room. It's not being squeezed anymore, so it turns back into water. also what we call the United States bacon, by the way, too. See the outline of the U.S. there? And there's Mexico. But yeah, Jam Crack is behind there, and then Purgatory goes back and forth behind that one. Even though this is as far as we go, the cave itself continues on for like 1.5 miles further down there. But before I turn on all the lights, I'm going to turn off the backlight for a moment here, show you the cave in its natural habitat. Ready? This is what the cave normally looks like. You can't see. Alright, yeah, I'll turn on some lights for you. Ready? Bump, ba-bump, ba-bump, ba-da! Control! Yeah, I agree. Again, there's over 3,000 unique formations in here. Makes it one of the most decorated caves in Colorado. Also means somebody had to count them all one day, too. Back on the left wall, you see all that white rock sticking out there? It's the side of King Kong's face. See his big mouth there? There's his teeth and his big tongue. Yeah, it's King Kong. See, yeah. It's called King's Row, how it got a weird name like that. If you look a little over halfway back, you see that row of stalagmites right there?
Yeah.
Peter Preble came in here, thought that looked like the back row of a chess set, which is called the King's Row. Yeah, you can picture those as chess pieces, kinda. There's like a king and a queen and a bishop, some pawns next to them. Now, the very oldest formation in here is the big white one on the right, about halfway back. That one right there. It's called the wedding cake. It does look like a monkey, yeah. It's kind of a sloppy and melted cake on this side. It's actually 15 feet tall and 750,000 years old, too. 750,000. A lot of people have told me that it looks like the Oogie Boogie Man from Nightmare Before Christmas, too. Or the King of the Monkeys from the Jungle. Yeah, these are black lights or UV lights, and the stuff glowing like the green and the other colors, that's actual organic material. It used to be alive. But now that short wavelength UV light makes the electrons in that stuff get really excited and dance around and build up a bunch of energy. And that energy, now that's fluorescence there. Now those electrons dancing around, building up all that energy, oh, that means that these formations actually keep glowing for a few seconds when I turn off the lights. Something called phosphorescence. Now, the first time we do the phosphorescence, it worked a couple of times. So once your eyes are adjusted, it works pretty well there. A little phosphorescence.
Wow.
Especially that wedding cake, huh?
That's really cool.
Yeah, when I messed up, here we go. One more time. Yeah. One more time. Yeah. And now that same phosphorescence that made them glow like that, it lets you do this too. You can write on the cave walls with light as well. Yeah, some
That's
cave
so
magic
cool.
there. Science now that you know how it works. There's a butterfly. There's a bag of toys over his shoulder. Ho, ho, ho. Santa.
So fun.
He's coming to town. That's the Leaning Tower of Glenwood Springs right in front of him. Right next to the wedding cake, that's the kissing couple right there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really good hug at least. Right next to the kissing couple, there's a cool wizard tower right there. And then there's a lighthouse right up front here.